Greetings, hunters! The title update 2 has dropped, and though it doesn't seem like dual blades got much out of it, builds became more flexible. We also got a new skill that I believe helps improve our hyper-aggressive style of hunting. So make sure to stick around till the end for that build. Before I begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel to support and stay updated with my videos. Help me reach that 1,000 subscription for that sweet monetization. So what did we get out of this update? First, we got our long-awaited armor skill Chain Crit, or now called Burst, as a decoration. So we no longer need to rely on augments or talismans. We also got the Phoenix Jewel 4, which makes it easier and more efficient in min-maxing our builds. On the weapon end, we got some augmenting updates. And we have interesting armors which we can use in our builds. For a quick update on weapons, we are still using the same 5 weapons for this update. But I'd like to give a special mention to the new fire weapon from the Flaming Espinus tree. While it's weaker than our current weapon, it has purple sharpness, 15% affinity, and a hidden poison status. This could be useful for certain matchups, but for now, we will be sticking to our original 5. For the ice, fire, and water weapons, we augment them with Element Boost 5. And for our dragon and thunder weapons, we augment them with Rampage Slot Upgrade 1 and Element Boost 2. The Rampage decoration will depend on the matchups, but you will typically go around Elembane, the Aura Soul, and the Anti-Species. For the armors, let's first start off with updates to our old builds, Dereliction and Mail of Hellfire. While I recommend you to check these updates, if you wish to skip ahead, check the chapter to see the build number 3. For our Dereliction build update, I call it All for One, because this build has all the strongest elemental boosting skills in one set. For the armor, we will be using the Arc Helm, Silver Sol Mail, Sinister Grudge Tassets, the Archfiend Armor Espine, and Seros. You will need at least a 2-2-1 talisman for a lighter version of this build. For this example, I'm using Constitution 3 Item Prolonger 1 with a 2-2-1 slot. For armor augments, you need at least 2 level 1 slots to fill up the jewels for the set. Relevant level 2 skills will make it easier to add more important skills. We will be using 5 element attack, 3 tenderizer, 3 critical, 1 phoenix, 3 chain, 1 critical element jewel plus, 1 hellfire, and 1 hellfire jewel plus. This set gives you Dereliction 3, Mail of Hellfire 1, Bloodlust 1, Coalescence 3, Hellfire Cloak 3, Burst 3, Element Exploit 1, Element Attack 5, Critical Element 3, Weakness Exploit 3, and Critical Boost 3. This set gives high boost on element and attack for the price of depleting health and lower defenses. Thanks to the Chain Jewel, we will also be able to fit the Mail of Hellfire level 1 for additional attack. If there's an all-rounder set, this is the one to use if you like living life dangerously. In case you're wondering, Hellfire Cloak helps us have a high uptime on our Coalescence, and it also gives us 1 monster knockdown per hunt. For our Mail of Hellfire build update, I call this Crimson Hellfire. If you want to deal high element attack on monsters with low element hit zones that negate element exploit, this set could do the trick. We will be using Kaiser Crown X, Art Greaves, Sinister Grudge Garb, Gauntlets, and Tassets. This build needs any talisman with level 2 skills like Weakness Exploit or Burst with at least a 2-1 slot. For this video, I'm using Weakness Exploit 2 with a 3-1 slot. For armor augments, you will need at least 1 level 2 slot upgrade. It would also help the build if you can add core skills like Burst or Weakness Exploit. We will be using 5 element attack, 3 chain, 2 critical, 1 tenderizer, 1 crit element, 1 crit element jewel plus, 1 hellfire, and 1 hellfire jewel plus. This set gives you Mail of Hellfire 3, Bloodlust 1, Coalescence 1, Hellfire Cloak 3, Burst 3, Element Attack 5, Critical Element 3, Critical Eye 3, Critical Boost 3, Wirebug Whisperer 2, and Weakness Exploit 3. I personally believe this is the best way to go for dual blades, especially for fast runs within 3 to 4 minutes. I believe it's the best for Thunder and Dragon element outside of the first build. If you can fit in Wirebug Whisperer 3, you can do some crazy fast damage on certain monsters. So we gain a new skill from the armor of Flaming Espinas called Intrepid Heart. What it does is give us a super armor for one hit while the gauge is full. We fill it up like our Archdemon mode gauge by constantly attacking the monster. For dual blades, we need to do 100 hits to fill it up. Once we get hit, at level 1, we have a 50% damage reduction. And at level 2, we have a 75% damage reduction, and it explodes, dealing a small amount of damage to the monster. While it doesn't seem relevant, it helps us keep our aggressiveness higher compared to our first two high-risk builds. With these two builds, we can do higher elemental damage than our first two builds. For Ice and Water, we will be using Kaiser Crown X, Silver Soul Mail, Kushala Grip X, Sinister Grudge Tacets, and Flaming Espinas Heal. This build needs any TU2 talisman, but you will lose one level 2 skill. For this video, I'll be using my Agitator 3 with the level 3 1 slot. For augments, you will need at least 2 level 2 slot upgrades. As usual, it's best to have relevant skills on this set. We will be using 5 element attack, 1 chain, 2 critical, 3 tenderizer, 1 crit element jewel plus, 1 hellfire, and 1 hellfire jewel plus. This set gives you Intrepid Heart 1, Kushala Blessing 2, Coalescence 1, Hellfire Cloak 3, Burst 3, Element Exploit 1, Element Attack 5, Crit Element 3, Critical Eye 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Critical Boost 3, and Challenger 5. If the monster has good element hit zones, this is the strongest damaging set for Ice and Water. For the Fire set, we swap the arm and waist for Sinister Grudge Gauntlets and Kaiser Coil X. This build needs any TU2 talisman for the bare minimum build, you just lose some affinity in the process. I will be using my Critical Eye 2 with a 3-1 slot. For the augments, you will need at least 1 level 2 slot upgrade. Relevant skills are welcome as usual. We will be using 5 element attack, 1 chain, 1 phoenix, 2 critical, 3 tenderizer, 1 crit element jewel plus, 1 hellfire, and 1 hellfire jewel plus. This set gives you Intrepid Heart 1, Teostra Blessing 2, Coalescence 1, Hellfire Cloak 3, Burst 3, Element Exploit 1, Element Attack 5, Critical Element 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Critical Boost 3, and Critical Eye 6. While this isn't the strongest combination for fire, this set packs a punch with a high margin of safety. If you want to know the strongest fire build, it is a customized Dereliction set with the Kaiser Coil X. Additionally, if you're not into the Hellfire Cloak and Coalescence combination, it is completely viable to just slot in 3 attack jewels to have attack boost 4 for these 2 Intrepid builds. Here's a quick demo of build 3 catered to my augments and talisman.
My best pal.
The damage output is crazy strong, and the set still feels comfortable. If I had to recommend, the new Intrepid Heart build is the way to go for these kind of matchups. We talked about 3 different types of builds, and they all have their own advantages for different monster matchups. So make sure to have these ready. If you made it this far in the video, then you are a certified master of the elements. So make sure to spiral slash that like, share, and subscribe buttons to show your support and to stay updated with my future videos. I hope the new build template makes it easier to understand the augments. If you have any feedback, please let me know at the comments. Next update is status, so stay tuned for that. See you all next time.